Hello, everybody. Welcome on in. Happy Sunday. Listen, how are we doing today? How are my non-Arizonan and Hawaiian USers doing today? Because that daylight savings kicks me in the behind every time. I thought I was going to be fine this year, but we're not. We're not. So I'm a little tired. Chloe, hi. Anthony, Joey, how's everyone doing? Renee, hi. Oh my goodness, I'm struggling today. Like I said, tired. Practically perfect. Hello. Haven't caught him live in months. Well, welcome in. I'm happy you're here. Oh. Y'all, I just opened my game and teleported to this well. I forgot that this is the current state of things. Well, if you didn't know from the title and the thumbnail, now you know from the state of the plaza. We're going to be decorating today. I do need to look at the reset stuff from last week and check my Scrooge shops, see what's going on, because I looked at the premium shop, I think, briefly on Wednesday. Besides the Waterfall, I forget what's there. So I'm gonna take a little peek, see if I want to grab anything, and then we'll get on into decorating, I think. I'm excited. This is my first time decorating the plaza for a castle skin. It's about time. And it's my first time decorating the plaza in like legitimately over a year, I think. So should be good, should be good. Ariel, hello. Why are we still doing daylight savings? Honestly, why? Why? Hi, Anna, hello. Just get rid of it. Honestly, that extra hour feels nice in the autumn, but not enough. Not enough, frankly. You're good. You bought a lazy boy chair for your gaming setup. Oh, lazy boy feels so very 90s. I love that for you. Momo, hello. Okay, anything new here? No, doesn't look like it. I still don't have the fence. You can't see me, but I'm smiling in pain. I guess one could call that a grimace. The last stream you caught, I deleted everything. Oh, yes. So I meant to do redecorating on Wednesday, but I didn't end up streaming on Wednesday. I was kind of migraine-y. I think the motion sickness from Tears of the Kingdom on Tuesday set it off for me. So I was just not feeling up to it on Wednesday. I apologize, but we're here today and we're going to decorate and it's going to be great. Hi, Existential. Okay. Fence. I do have a couple of chests. I suppose I could open those. I don't know. Okay, so here's the situation. I realized as I was cleaning some of my floating islands that the memory orbs popped into my inventory. I'll probably show you because I'm going to be able to show it to you better than I'm going to be able to explain it with my words right now. So then I decided to use the empty part of my storage island. I had a couple empty chests there anyway, just in case I needed to expand. I decided to put the memory orbs into that and just open them at some point. I don't know, for the star path maybe, just to have a place where I know that they are. And I had a couple chests from leveling villagers. No, from leveling critters. And I popped those in there too. I had another one, maybe from Dream Snaps.
Oh, greetings, neighbor.
Hi, Ricky. Hello. You did your Dream Snap earlier, hoping for another 4K. Wait, is it like a jungle theme or something? I haven't actually really looked at it. That's not new. Let's see. That's new. Okay.
Good day, dear.
Your cat has an automatic feeder that goes off on preset times. You don't change the time on it when daylight savings goes. Oh, so he doesn't have to suffer like you. Your cat knows stability. What joys for your cat. Let's see. So I have these chests is what I'm saying in here. Is there a fence in here? Statistically speaking, all signs point to no. But we could open those to see. I feel like decorating the plaza might be, I feel like we have to do it. Because this fence would really make a huge difference in the plaza decor, I think. So we'll go to the valley and see if we have the fence. If so, fabulous. If not, we cry. Cat, hello. Okay. Let's see. Can I show the fence I'm hoping to get? Possibly after I open the... It's from Storybook Vale. It's like a piece that goes in between these banisters. They're not banisters. They're like columns. I don't know. I'll pull it up on the wiki in a second. Okay, let's see. No. I think that's new. I don't know. Do I have that light? It's not what I want, though. I thought one of these was a Dream Snap chest, but I guess I'm mistaken. All right, no fence. We cry. Community sob fest. Okay. The fence in question. I was just on the wiki earlier today. I also looked this up recently. Elegant, no, fence, barrier. It has a weird name. Divider. Give me a second. No, it's not from Wish Blossom Ranch. It's from Storybook Vale. Everything is difficult. Everything is pain. Everything is... What is it called? I need to take a picture of this at this point. You know, there's a way for me to find this. Because it probably has the same name as... Elegant Stone Post. Why do I feel like it doesn't have the same name? It's fine. Y'all know what I'm talking about. I believe this. Yeah, I know they said they remember seeing it. I just wasn't sure if somebody else didn't know what I was talking about. Okay, let's clean up the plaza and the meadow because we're gonna have to move some buildings around, find room for stuff, dig a couple spots so we're unimpeded. Oh, premium shop. Gameloft should really give extra moonstones as compensation for not giving the fence. In addition to the fence, well, yes. We get the fence, the thing we need, and we get, yes. I agree. I second this. Okay. Anything else? The moonstone situation is, in fact, dire. I'm not going to lie. Is it called the Elegant Stone Fence, Ariel? See, I thought it was, and then I feel like I tried Googling that searching it on the wiki last time, and it didn't work. But it's possible that that's a lie. Okay. We have this. Elegant Stone Barrier. I thought it was barrier, but I typed in barrier and nothing came up. We need furniture trading, but I would even be satisfied with the ability to go to each other's DLC shops if both players have the DLC. I understand why they wouldn't want you to be able to do it if somebody didn't own the DLC. But if both players own it, they have to have a way to track that. If both players own it, why can we not? Valley visits at DLCs, Scrooge shop. Do we think this is the fence? You searched it and it came up. Okay. I guess I didn't do it. Maybe I don't think I misspelled barrier. All right. Put this away and then get going.
So many dreams come true.
The rest of this is a problem for a different me. Premium shop. I have 6,000 moonstones. We have this tropical waterfalls kit. Now this I did rant about a little bit on the member stream, but is it worth repeating? How do we feel about this? I don't like it on principle. I find actually Dreamlight Valley has been annoying me a lot recently on principle. And that's when I start to get a little side eye when things start to feel either cash grabby or a little bit sketchy or like, okay, because I like the idea of the waterfalls. I'm not saying I understand or I right now off the top of my head have an idea of what I would have had them do instead of this. But the thing that annoys me is that this is clearly an extension of the river kit. I'm sure they created it far after the river kit because they probably weren't sure how successful it was going to be. And then when people liked the river kit, I'm assuming they decided that they wanted to make this and people would get it. However, part of this kit is a piece from the river kit. So they're like selling us something that we already have, kind of. This says price for all unowned items. So I guess it might be a little bit more if you don't have the river kit. But then also it's like it doesn't look like it has a corner like edge piece. So are you just supposed to have jagged corners? Like, I'm not saying it's the same. It's not the same thing. The feeling it evokes from within me is similar to that of when The Sims 4 dropped cats and dogs, and then afterwards, like shortly afterwards, dropped The Sims 4 My First Pet stuff that looked like it was clearly The Sims 4 cats and dogs bonus stuff that they just packaged separately for some extra coins, you know? That's how I feel about this. I don't like it on principle, but I think it's probably a nice addition, like aesthetically, and to play with. The dragonflies, I do love like a butterfly, a firefly. You really don't know where you could use the waterfalls, and we have so many waterfalls in the game. I mean, we do have a couple, but they're pretty short. Actually, someone mentioned, Candia, you said you feel like it's too short. What's the height of these? I know they added the grid, which is nice. I wish they added something for like, I don't know, where they would have our little avatar standing next to it, you know, so we could see scale with height. I guess you could reverse engineer the height from the length and width, comparing it to that, but that's just far too much work. We have the Isabella Graceful Wings. Oh. Huh. And Isabella Colorful Wings. Huh. Now, I think the back of these are kind of cute, although it is giving 90s mom scrapbook to me. You know, like when you'd have a mom who did like fancy scrapbooking, or sometimes there'd be like fabric in the scrapbook too. It looks like that. It's giving scrapbook layering to me. I don't think I like them from the front. Granted, most of the time when I'm looking at my character, if they're wearing the wings, I'm going to be seeing them from the back. But if you're wearing the wings in a picture, probably you're going to be seeing them from the front. I don't know that I like that very much. Oh, and then we have this chanterelle mushroom gazebo. I do really like this. I think I'm going to pick this up. It kind of looks like a tortilla chip on the top. That's not a read. It's just an observation. Hi, Decorista. How are you? What did everybody else pick up from the shop this week, though? Let me know. Let me know. What are our feelings and opinions? Yeah, and then of course they're gonna have the river kit. That's not. I don't hate this any more than I hate the waterfall thing in general. This being here the same week doesn't make me more mad, but anyway. You just placed the waterfall and yeah, it's short. Oh no! I don't know if I should get it. I might have to watch somebody's like premium shop review to see what the height is. Wait, okay, is it like the same height? Because my guess actually, I suppose this would be smart. Whoa, that's giant. I think it would kind of make sense if it was around the same height as the actual waterfall from the river kit, which was short, to be honest. Not this being teensy tiny compared to this mushroom thing. Got the gazebo, waterfalls, and dragonflies. Is it like the same height as the top of this waterfall from the river kit? That would be my guess. I really like this. The bottoms kind of look like elephant feet. It's just about that height, if not a little taller. Interesting, interesting. I guess that would be... Interesting. We'll see. Shorter than expected, at least as tall as the waterfall from the river kit. Okay, okay. I think probably where... I get that. I can understand how people would feel that that was short, because I did think that this was very small. And especially because I feel like if you're using them... Quaz, thank you so much for the follow over on Twitch. I appreciate you. I think that was our follower goal also. Thank you, thank you. If I were using the waterfalls, I'd probably mostly use them as borders around a, not like a full border, but kind of up against a back portion or like a cliffy portion of a biome. And I would imagine in that case, I would probably want them to be taller than this. Or you could use them to really cordon off or section off different areas within a biome, in which case I also would probably want them to be taller than this. Ordinary Jennifer, thank you so much for the follow. Okay. Step number 1 for this. I need to figure out what I'm having in the plaza and what I'm having in the meadow. Let me move these up here. I haven't really thought about this yet. If I were a slightly more efficient person, I would have. But we're gonna figure it out together. We're gonna look at all the buildings. Definitely going with a beautiful pink theme. I'm gonna leave this here though, so I don't lose it. And we might kind of plan out both of these simultaneously and then pop into decorating for just the plaza, I'm thinking, but we'll have to see. Okay. So now that this is pretty, do I want this kind of as a central point? That might be kind of cute. Gotta pull out some handy dandy rugs to figure out spacing for stuff. We have you. We have you. Guess I could also use the pathing, but I think that's about right. Ooh. Okay, I don't necessarily hate this, but I also think it blocks the view of the well, which I don't know if I love. Do I need to have a direct view of the well? I don't know. Definitely going to have both of these up here. The one thing I will say about having skins for Chez Remy is that then for me, it just feels like we should also have one for Remy's. I understand it's a different size, it's a different shape, but because they're both basically the same style, I feel like we should have a skin for this too. No. Before we do that though, we need a skin for Daisy's shop. That would be my bigger request, I think. Do I want these here? You want to start begging to get the well skins from the DLCs unlocked? That would be nice as well. Not as well. I didn't mean that as a pun. Although it would be nice. Yuri, hello. The thing about these buildings, though, is that these are going to be the primary way that we continue this vibe. So it might be nice to have them a little further away down here. But I think I remember seeing a couple thumbnails of people's builds with this stuff, and I don't want to copy them, and I think I might have seen one with the buildings right here. That's something that's tricky for me. My memory is not the greatest, so I try to not really consume too much decorating content from Dreamlight Valley because I don't want to like accidentally copy someone's build and then be like, isn't this the most beautiful thing anyone's ever seen? And then 5 days later see a video that was posted weeks ago and be like, oh, it's this exact same build. Love that for me. You don't get why we don't have unseeable, wait, not unseeable, am I okay? Usable DLC well-installed skins, it just seems like we should since Scrooge and Remy get theirs. Yes, I agree. To be fair though, I feel like the Scrooge and Remy ones being made available in the other maps was a recent addition to the game, right? Within the past couple of updates or so. So maybe that's something that's coming soon. Perhaps. I'm not using this path forever, by the way. I'm just trying some different ideas. Hoping they follow that up with the skins and floating islands and obviously tool skins. Yeah, it's been a while since we saw any tool skins. I kind of miss them, to be honest. And I am very much hoping for Storybook Vale floating islands. I love the Storybook Vale biomes. I do think Mythopia is my favorite biome in the game. I truly think that. It's just so stunning. It's bright and feels like floral and welcoming. Hi, Savvy. backwards? No, that's forwards. Okay. Remy's is looking a little lilac in this light. Is it kind of purple? I think it might just be the way the sun is falling, but this might be the layout. It's gonna be a pain in the butt to work around these buildings being here. Not sure how much else I would be able to fit here, but we're gonna try. We're gonna try. You feel like Ever After is your favorite map? You love the colors and the feel of it. I like Ever After, but there's something about the way the colors are muted, kind of, that I don't love as much as Mythopia. I like how saturated everything in Mythopia feels. I mean, well, there is like the one area, the Fiery Plains, that has a greenish grass mixed in, and that's a little bit desaturated, but other than that, it's not. Maybe I can put this like back here. We can bring this around this way. It's bb.move objects on when you need her. Getting Storybook Vale Floating Islands would fit well actually in the Hercules update. That's true. That's true. Oh, I'm doing this all wrong. Not all wrong, but I need to see if there are other buildings that I want here. I might move the mice and friends into the meadow again. Not move objects. I need it. I've needed it so like for so long. I love the ability to like anything that lets me hold a button and move things off a grid is just like chef's kiss. Or like clip things into each other. What am I looking at? That has a home. I don't want to change that. Okay. They have their tiny old little house. Tiny old little house, sure. Castle. I can sell his apartment. Why don't I have this here? Pop that there for a second. I don't know that I want to do cottage vibes. That doesn't feel like the energy that I'm looking for. I tend to go with the same buildings in the plaza all the time, or the meadow if I'm using the meadow as my substitute plaza like I was the last time I decorated it. But they work. They make sense. Feels right. Might be a little dark for what we're going for. Miss Patty, hello, hello. You'd love a move objects function. Sometimes the spacing is so wonky. Agreed, agreed, agreed. Anything that gives more flexibility with decorating, I think, is a good thing. Speaking of more flexibility with decorating, I think I mentioned this in the member stream as well. We haven't played Town to City in a while, but Town to City is getting an update this month that's adding terraforming, which is terrifying to me, but also exciting. I want to get back to Town to City because I think it's really cute. I had a good time with it. We've only tried one of the maps, and there are, I think, 3 available right now. So I do think it would be a bit of fun to play that again at some point. So far this week, I'm planning on playing Cult of the Lamb tomorrow and Tears of the Kingdom on Tuesday, but that's always potentially gonna change. You can't wait for the terraforming. You need the lake gone. Wait, the lake right when you get in the main area. It's like pretty much right off the train in Town to City. I do like lakefront living in Town to City, but I find that that specific location for a lake is not ideal. Hi, Kitty. Hello. The time change got you really messed up. We were just talking about that. I'm a little tired from the time change. I tried to go to bed early to account for the fact that I, you know, an hour just disappeared in the night. That's how daylight savings works. An hour disappeared in the night. But I didn't manage to get to bed early, unfortunately. And I just didn't sleep super well either, so it wasn't the best combination of circumstances. But I have some coffee today. That's nice. Put that in there, and that in there, and that in there. Okay. Rain, hello. Haven't been able to catch a stream in a while. Welcome in. Had to restart your save again. Oh my goodness. Hopefully you're excited about starting fresh, though, and not upset. This building is wider than this building, and this building is wider than this building, so I think I actually need to swippity swap them. Like so. That's not right. It was almost right. I suppose I could get rid of those as well. Maybe I'll just, draw some lines to absolutely help with spacing. And good. That's actually not in the middle of those. I guess I'll move that there. Gotta lurk in meal prep. Ooh, hopefully you're meal prepping something yummy. I don't think I'm gonna hate this. It's gonna be a little squeezy on this side, whatever we end up doing, but it might be fine. I think I'm gonna change this. I'm not even planning on leaving it here forever, but I think I'm changing it anyway. Just to look at something prettier. A little overwhelming starting again after not playing for like a year, but it's so fun. That's good. I was disappointed when I found out that I wouldn't be able to do my save that I had started when did I start that? When Rift in Time came out? The playlist might still exist on the channel, even though I think we only did 2 streams. I was gonna do a secondary save, but "'twas not to be." Woke up at like 10 or 11 and was confused. Fell back asleep until like 1:40 p.m. p.m. I have a love-hate relationship with this gazebo. I think I had these here last time. I probably shouldn't have them here again. It's not very original of me. Yes, I don't know if there's ever been a time that I slept in until nearly 2 p.m. That's not a read. I'm more just like amazed. I think the latest I've ever slept in is like ever, maybe like 1 o'clock. But that was maybe like once in my life. Okay, well, technically, I guess I can't say that because I used to work night shifts. and night shifts, I would sleep during the day. But like going to sleep at night on a normal day and waking up, I don't think I ever really sleep past 10 at the absolute latest. Can't do it. It's not judgment. It's surprise. There's a difference. You're gonna do a second save, but saves don't share star path and premium shop items. Yes, that is correct, which I understand, but is also a little bit of a shame. This looks a little weird, but I might like it. I don't think I have enough space to turn it sideways. Floor did I work? When I was working in healthcare, for the majority of the time that I worked in surgical oncology. So I worked with patients who had abdominal cancers primarily and were getting surgery to treat it. We did a lot of procedures called like HIPEX, but other things as well. Then for a while, I worked as part of the float staff. So I didn't have a unit I was assigned to. Just anytime I showed up at work, I was sent wherever, like whatever place was understaffed that day. So I worked anything and everything. And then my specialty, what I went to grad school for, was midwifery, so gynae and obstetrics and newborn care, births and all that stuff. HIPEX are rough. HIPEX are rough, yes. Well, yeah, I worked from the time I graduated undergrad through grad school. The majority of that was all surg onc, but my specialty in grad school was midwifery, so I did a lot of labor and delivery for that, and then after I graduated. Do I want this here? I like this. The alternative is we could have it kind of here, which I think I like the idea of that as well. You worked in the OR for 30 years? Oh my goodness. You love to sleep in late now? I don't think I could do OR. I have seen a few operations, both in training and then the places that I worked, at least, when you were a midwife, if your patient had to have a C-section, midwives don't do C-sections, but you'd still be in the room with them. So I've seen a good fair few C-sections. Don't like them. Don't like watching them anyway. Oh my. Glad that was not my job. Am I a midwife? I don't work as one right now, but we've been around the block. I think I maybe will try to put this here a little bit further forward. Can I make this symmetrical with this? This is, I understand, quite a chaotic way to go about decorating. I feel like we just need to accept it. I'm early. Nina, I am on time. I meant to post. Well, I'm going to be really honest. I forgot. Well, I didn't forget daylight savings time is a thing. I did not realize that it was happening last night until my mom, who lives in a state that doesn't observe daylight savings time, texted me and was like, don't forget you're losing sleep tonight. And I was like, okay, rude, but thanks for the reminder. So I didn't get a chance to post it like with the schedule. But yeah, we just had daylight savings in the US. So we're it might seem like I'm an hour early for you, but it's 2 p.m. Eastern here that we started. You're struggling with making biomes feel cohesive. Any tips on how to achieve cohesion? Ooh, I can talk about that a little bit in a second. You're a fellow midwife? Amazing. I love midwives. Midwives are so fabulous. I really, truly do. Not just because that's what I did. I just think they're great. But making biomes feel cohesive, usually what I think is the biggest way to do that is to use the same path and the same foliage all the way throughout, and fencing. I feel like when you have those three things, the pathing, the fencing, and the foliage all the same throughout a whole biome, it's gonna really help bring it all together. So usually what I do when I'm decorating, once I get to that point, is I'll set out my palette of the foliage items that I'm going to use, and I'll kind of set them in an area that's not decorated so I can just pull from them. And I make sure that I pick like maybe 3 tones to use, like 3 different greens maybe, or if I'm using a color that's not a green, I'll try to go with 3 of them primarily. And use those, like use all 3 of those all throughout the biome, and I feel like it helps to kind of pull everything together. Another thing that I think helps is kind of looking at all of the buildings that you have and finding either a similar style of building, a similar color scheme of buildings, or a similar vibe of buildings. And that will help. But really, I think using a consistent path, consistent fencing, and consistent foliage are like the biggest things for me. But if anybody else has any tips about making your biomes cohesive, please share. Okay. That's going there, which means this is probably going to come this way. I have so many buildings I need to figure out what I'm doing with, but I kind of feel like I need to figure out what I'm doing here so I can decide which buildings I'm putting where. Daylight savings in Europe is 2 weeks later. Yeah, I didn't know when exactly it was for you all, but I knew it was a different time than ours. Which is also weird. Who decided to do that? I mean, I could Google this. I'm sure there's plenty of information out there about where, why, and when daylight savings, but it just feels inconvenient. Everyone's confused. I'm confused. I'm underslept. And it's just, I think, a little unnecessary. I don't think we need it anymore. It looks great so far. Thank you. I mean, we are in the sketching out portion, which is probably going to be a good amount of the stream, as we've already been here 45 minutes. But the hope is that in the end, it looks cute. And I think we can accomplish that. I really, really do. Maybe we'll put some of the funkier colors down here and see if we can make those work. Because I do like this pet shop, but the blue is very bright, and I don't know. Maybe we could make it work over here. I do also need a place for this, which I actually wouldn't hate having somewhere up here. I also was thinking about putting this pillar here, which we're going to start getting real asymmetrical real quickly, which might be fine. Possibly. For farming daylight savings? Well, yes, but like, I don't know how, I don't know any I was gonna say professional farmers. I think they're just called farmers. I don't know any professional farmers, but I don't know how much daylight savings time is still helpful for them in the year 2026. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can understand maybe in like 1960, but currently, I don't know if that's still a thing. Living in Arizona, you don't have to worry about daylight savings. Yeah, my family lives in Hawaii and they don't have well, they don't, yeah, recognize daylight savings there either. You use the same pathing and fencing and try to use biome native foliage. You also try to have some commonality in buildings. You struggle more with layout and transitions, just trial and error. Oh yeah, that's a big thing. I do firmly believe that the biggest part of decorating, at least for me, maybe there are people who can kind of conceptualize what they want to do and immediately execute it. I'm not one of those people. For me, it's a lot of trial and error. Just kind of placing things, moving things, seeing what does work, doesn't work, and kind of going from there. This is very odd having that there, but maybe if I block this off on this side, it's not going to feel as strange. And I'm almost thinking about maybe having like green areas over here with maybe Beast's flower stall moment this way, and then a little garden for the pillar over this way. Loving the vibe of the plaza. You do have a tip for cohesive valleys. You like to add foliage and items from certain biomes and place them in neighboring biomes where both biomes meet. Oh, that's cool. To like have flow between the areas. I haven't really done that too much. I usually don't really consider the transition from one biome to the next, but that might be something interesting to try at some point. Farmers have equipment that daylight savings is irrelevant now. That's what I would assume. That is what I would assume. Hey, Simba. The other option would be to push these this way. You had a fairy core meadow inspired by my day old tea, and that's the only biome you've ever been happy with. I think it was in my first ever Valley Tour video. My meadow was inspired by one of Savannah's at my day old tea. She had like this really pretty, very natural, like green and yellow kind of, I don't know. It felt kind of wild, but like calm. It was a really nice meadow, and I took a fair amount of inspiration from that. I know it looks weird with these buildings like this. I think we can cover it with a tree. And I think I am going to turn those sideways because I don't really love specifically the way the flower shop looks like that. But I might here switch spots. You watch your favorite content creator do some trial and error and then use that as inspiration for your game. That's cool too. I'd imagine sometimes people will try things and they might end up going with a different idea than whatever they're workshopping, but that kind of middle point of an idea could be something that you kind of run with and use as some inspiration for your own valley. Maybe something like that. Also, none of these paths are going to look like this. Some of the shapes might be somewhat similar. I mean, not this, but this is purely for spacing purposes for me, kind of trying to figure out where to place things. I don't have any fountains. Gasp. That might have to change. We're trusting the process. It looks a hot mess right now, but I feel like a lot of times when you're in the middle of placing buildings, it does look like a hot mess because you don't have any of the actual structure around that makes the thing look like a build. So I'm not going to worry about it too much right now. I have faith that we're too early to panic. Did I buy something from the premium shop? We just looked at it like 20 minutes ago. I thought I got one thing. Oh, yes, the gazebo. We looked at it. Got it. Okay. I am realizing, though, we don't have very big pink trees, which is a shame. I don't mind using green ones. In fact, I shall use green ones, but it would be better if we had giant pink ones. You wish Disney had some of the Wizard of Oz rights? Oz items would look so cute in Dreamlight Valley, but also you don't really trust Dreamlight Valley with Oz after what they did with OTGAP. What's OTGAP? I don't think I know what that stands for. Kitty, I never played Hello Kitty Island Adventure, but I know a lot of people loved it. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people still love it, but I remember maybe it was when it first came out or something. People were playing it left, right, and center. Oh, Oz the Great and Powerful. Gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. I understand. Yes, I just didn't know the acronym. I did see Oz the Great and Powerful. It was a film. It was a movie. Cinderella, hello, welcome in. They had a sale on Steam. Oh, that's nice. Oh, that can't go there because of the pond. Of course, of course, of course. I think those are even though, to be honest. Have some oddly spaced things going on, but I believe that we can make it work. I believe that we can make it work. I think we'll see. Can I change you to the other one? Wait, what is, oh, I forgot we got this. We got these both the same week, right? Anyway. I don't know if I'm gonna use this one down here. Do I keep the pink coming here? I kind of feel like I have to for maximum effect. Interesting. Setting up your new phone and you hate doing it, it stresses you out. Wait, really? I feel like I enjoy, well, I mean, to be fair, I got a new phone last year because my old phone I'd had an iPhone X or something. it was years old, and when I got it, it was an old model, I think. So I finally got a new one last fall, I think, because mine was simply no longer functioning. But I like setting up new electronics. I think it's fun. Yeah, it was an old one, kitty. It's really, really old for real. You remember that process of setting up a new phone? Huh? I would like the record to show, okay, to show that it wasn't letting me grab that building. That was terrifying. It's still not. Hello, hello? I don't know what model of phone my sister has right now, but she's also having an issue with hers. Actually, when I was on the member stream on Friday, she was trying to, like, she was asking me to help her with her phone because it was like doing a black screen and she couldn't open it. I had to just quickly ask her to have my partner help her, but yeah, phones, man. They go. You only upgraded your phones because your provider said you can upgrade for free. Yeah, I usually don't feel like I have to have the latest phone. That's not something that I feel compelled to do. But also, even if I did feel compelled to, I'm still on a family plan with my family. And I think it's like you get, I don't know, because I don't manage this, but it's like you get upgrades after a certain amount of time or something. And it's kind of like a plan, like family plan upgrade. It's not like an individual upgrade or something. I don't really know. It might be like dependent on who your provider is for your cell service, but one thing about my siblings, they love to break an electronic. So even though my phone was the oldest for quite some time, they were always getting new phones because they were always breaking theirs. You had a 14 but had to downgrade after a breakup last month. Oh no, I'm sorry. It doesn't make any sense to have this house here. Grandma is 82 and has always been upgrade obsessed for like 20 years. She always needs the newest phone, yet barely can open her email. I feel like that is iconic. And also, I find it funny. What does she do with it? Like, what is it that calls to her about the new phone? I need to know, but I do love that for her. We're dealing with this later. We're dealing with this now. I've decided to move on. It's today's opening line in homage to Brittany shenanigans. Wait, is Brittany up to something? You know what I've discovered about myself recently? I either need to do research or keep my mouth shut, or I need you all to know just know that I don't research stuff. Like, I try to be the type of person who, when information comes to me, I take that information and I'm like, okay, I take that seriously. Like, I will react accordingly. But I don't necessarily go out of my way to vet everything that I interact with ahead of time. And therefore, I found myself in multiple situations where I will talk about something and then I'll learn something about something and then I'll be like, whoop, can't talk about that anymore. So all that to say, I don't know if Britney's currently up to anything. It is obviously a nod to Britney's music. Also, I had a deep suspicion right before stream started that it's possible that I also titled a previous stream this exact same thing. So if that's the case, I don't know what to tell you. I'm not very original. Oh, see, I didn't know that. No, I did not know that any of that was happening. I think part of it is that I'm not on TikTok. I feel like TikTok is just, I don't know, in my brain as someone who doesn't use it, it tells everybody everything all the time. I also just have like a very curated, and also very easy to, oh no, and also very easy to uncurate YouTube algorithm. So I feel like I learn a lot of things about a lot of things, but it's not usually the things that everybody else knows. This grandma doesn't use social media, but there it is in your face. Well, that's fair. Sometimes stuff does just pop up. Usually for me, it's the recommended articles on Google that will just teach me things that I never asked to know. I have had to block multiple things, like topics on Google articles, including Love Island, because for some reason it loved to spoil Love Island for me and my partner. Okay. Got that. We got that. This. We need height, but I think before any of that, I need to figure out the flow of this space. And I think I will just use this path for now. I don't know that I'm going to use it forever, because kind of something that's calling my name is the natural rock path. I know it's pretty dark. No, I don't think I'm going to use that. I do think it looks nice with the base of these items, but I think it looks, I don't think I really want that much of a difference. I want it to be a little bit lighter. You couldn't escape Love is Blind spoilers for this season on Facebook. I don't believe, I think, okay, here's the thing. I can't guarantee that I've never watched a season of Love is Blind, because apparently I watched a whole season of Too Hot to Handle. And when I say that I have absolutely no recollection of watching this, I mean that. It must have been during the pandemic, and maybe that's why I don't remember it. But every now and then my partner will bring up when we watched Too Hot to Handle together. Isn't that what it's called? Netflix has too many dating shows. That's neither here nor there. But all that to say, I don't know if I've ever watched a full season of Love is Blind, but I think I have not. But I have seen an episode or two here or there, usually when visiting family. That was really rude for that to spawn there. I feel like I don't get it. It gives me like Okay, before I say this, I have to say that I haven't watched the show that I'm about to reference. I think I watched the first 3 seasons or something. I don't know if it's still on. No idea. It gives me like Married at First Sight, but like Black Mirror edition. You know? That's the energy that it has for me. One thing that is in my YouTube algorithm for some reason, though, is people talking about Love is Blind. So I feel like I am in the business of Love is Blind this season. Even though I didn't ask for this life. Black Mirror edition? I don't know. Am I wrong? I feel like I'm not. For height, you created a walkway in that area with several of the garden glass stained gazebos to Scrooge shop and Daisy. It's a lot. Garden glass stained gazebos? What is that? Similar vibes to Married at First Sight for sure. I feel like it's just, from my understanding, it's like people are in these pods. First off, we gotta stop letting these companies isolate people and encourage them to make bad decisions. I understand that's the whole point. We gotta stop. People are isolated both from their families and also just in general in these actual isolation pods. And then they have to talk to someone through a wall. I don't know. It's not through, I don't know. They're talking to people. The whole thing is they don't know what they look like. Okay. But that doesn't explain why you have to decide to like get engaged within like a week. I've never seen it. You love a good pod isolation, not that. Vanessa, hello, welcome in. Thanks for lurking, Ariel. You watched this season, Certified Chris Hater. Is he? No shade. The short guy who's a gym bro. He is. Okay. That's all I need to know. I did not watch the show. But I know who he is. They don't see each other, but they do talk to each other. Married at First Sight, they never even have a conversation. That's true. Married at First Sight was kind of diabolical for that. But I feel like Married at First Sight, from what I remember, again, this also could be a lie. I have no way of fact checking this, but they made it seem like they put everyone through like intense psychological evaluations. That sounds dramatic, but that's what they said. They put everyone through intense psychological evaluations to make sure they, you know, weren't taking advantage of people. And also they had quote unquote experts attempting to match them with someone who was good for them. Jazz, hello. You unapologetically love Love is Blind, but you haven't watched this season yet. I mean, I can't really say whether I would like it or not. I do like a bit of reality TV. I've been eating up The Traitors. Oh my gosh, The Traitors is so good. I don't know why I waited so long, but I started watching it a few weeks ago. I'm already at the start of the 4th season, which feels like a heavy binge for me, but it's so good. It has made me want to go and watch Survivor again. I watched years and years and years of Survivor from the time I was a kid. But I stopped watching maybe around the mid 2010s, late 2010s perhaps, but I need to like go back and watch it again. You heard sometimes people don't pass psych evals, but they still put them on for good TV. I feel like I've heard that rumor circulating. I have no way of knowing whether this is true or not, so I'm not accusing anybody of anything. But I will say it wouldn't necessarily surprise me. The women on Love is Blind are the most beautiful, successful, nice, wonderful people, and the men they find are trash. Wait. Okay, I don't really know how we got on this reality TV kick, but I'm not mad about it. I will again reiterate though, much like Love is Blind, a lot of my experience with like dating reality shows is secondhand from watching different video essays about them. Did anyone watch I think it has had multiple seasons outside of the US, and maybe it was like a thing in the US a long time ago, but I think last year maybe it was a big thing. There was a new series of Temptation Island. I don't know if this was on Netflix. Again, didn't watch it, but that was certainly something. Also very much, I do think that's a bit of a pattern, and it could be because they kind of know, I would assume a lot of the viewer base of reality dating shows are women, and not all, but certainly me, love seeing a successful woman and a man who is not. A man who is not wonderful, and just thinking that women deserve better. We love a bit of that from time to time. You don't watch Traders, but Bob the Drag Queen and Monet talk about it on their podcast. I didn't know they have a podcast together. I just discovered Bob the Drag Queen's YouTube channel maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago. But yeah, Bob the Drag Queen was on the last season of the 3rd season, I believe, the one that I just finished of Traders, and Monet Exchange is on this one, season 4. Sibling rivalry, they eat. I need to look into that. That seems like my kind of content. I'm not gonna lie. I do enjoy a podcast. I recently had to explain to my mother the concept of a video podcast as opposed to an audio podcast. It did also reveal the information. My mom has a podcast. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but my mom has a podcast. And so she was like asking for something about her podcast or whatever. And I was like, yeah. You should probably just like film your podcast as a video and then upload it to YouTube as a video, and then upload it as audio to the other platform. She said, wouldn't that just be me sitting there talking to the camera? I said, Mom, that's what YouTube is. It's people sitting there talking to the camera. She said, really? Why would people want to watch that? I said, Mom, you are too young to not know what YouTube is. What did you think YouTube was, if not people just sitting talking to the camera? What do you think I do all day? Oh my gosh. No, here's the thing. It wasn't a job diss though. She's very supportive of my mom. Or I mean, she's very supportive of my mom too. She's a Leo, so she's certainly supportive of herself, but she's very supportive of me and my job. She thinks I'm way more of a big deal than I am, but it's very sweet. The green fire was Maleficent doing some shenanigans. Mimi, you know, we're still just planning and mostly talking about reality TV, but it's great. You haven't missed too much. This is what we're working with so far in terms of the Plaza. I hate it, but we're not talking about it yet. And then eventually we're gonna do the Meadow. Anyway, Temptation Island has been running for years in Finland, and it's truly horrible. I heard tales about something that happened in maybe a Spain one or something. I don't know. And I saw plenty of people dissect the US one. It was a mess. But my mom's podcast, it's like a kind of like a cooking podcast, cooking / lifestyle kind of thing. Yeah. It's very good. I enjoy it. I usually listen to it every week, and then yeah, I'll be listening to it and I'll forget that it's my mom. I'm like, oh, these are some good tips. And I'm like, wait a second, this is my mom. Maybe I'll talk about it at some point, but I haven't really asked her how she would feel about me sharing it or anything, so I want to see if she's okay with it before I do. Play Mother Tink, she's such an icon. Like, she is good. I don't know, sometimes it's annoying. She's the kind of mom who's like good at everything, and it's simultaneously very inspiring and also somewhat disheartening, but I love her so much. Okay, let's go. Let me drink some more of my coffee. Okay, we'll give you this little corner moment. Oh no! Ew, ew, ew! Why does it? No! It's fine. I can fix this. That was easy. That was easy. Anyway, here's the thing. In my defense, sometimes things are not easy to fix in Dreamlight Valley, and you don't necessarily know if it's a permanent problem or a fixable problem until you try to fix it. I thought it might be a permanent problem, but it wasn't.
I am living like a king here.
Okay. It is International Women's Day today. Maybe I'm a bad woman for not having known that this was... I mean, I knew it was a thing. I didn't know it was a thing today until this morning when I did the Daily Calm and Tamara Levitt told me it's International Women's Day. I was like, oh, well, slay. We love that. Shout out to all the women out there. Specifically women at any level of intersections that make it difficult to be, more difficult to be a woman than it already is, because don't get it twisted, it's difficult being a woman. Okay, put those away. So I want to have... Okay, currently this feels very empty and is, but I do fear that it's going to get rather cluttered rather quickly. I want some fencing. I don't have the fence that I want, but I could maybe use this one. Maybe, let me try something. Every day is Women's Day. That's true too. In the poetic words of Queen Bee, who run the world, girls, you know? Hmm. Okay. How about some planter boxes? See what the spacing's like. The pink ones, of course. Love how the pathway shimmers in the right light when walking. Yeah, I do like this path. I feel like sometimes the gold border is a little much for me, but it's a cute pathway. I like the colors in it. Do I have a theme in mind for my builds? I guess I usually have like a vibe in mind. So it might not necessarily be a specific aesthetic theme, but I'll usually have either a color palette or a building type or I'll know somewhere like where I kind of want it to fall on the spectrum of like more manicured to more natural. So I usually have kind of the vibes, but I don't. Yeah. I usually go into it knowing kind of like how I want it to feel. And that's about as close to a theme as I typically get. I mean, sometimes I'll have like an actual theme. Like I'll be like, okay, I want to build a like 100-acre woods build. And that's like a little bit easier, but I don't often have like a super defined theme like that. Played the safe for 3 years, just finished decorating 3 biomes. Which biomes did you decorate? How's this gonna look?
Let me know where I can.
I know you can't see it behind there. Maybe I'll put it in front. My idea was that I was going to put that in the back and then put the fountain tiles in it, but I don't know if that's actually going to be as nice as if I put that in front of the flower beds. We'll see. It would also feel a little bit more spacious, I think, if I put it in front of the flower beds, even if it's not more spacious. I'm also not going to have these actually lining all the way like this. Oh, this is going to be really annoying. I'm just doing it like this. I'll do a couple cutout areas where I can put some benches or something, or maybe like a little throughway. We'll see, we'll see, we'll see. Half of the Plaza, Forgotten Lands, Dazzle Beach, and the Glade of Trust. Nice. I have no idea what I'm going to do with this glade. I feel like the glade is one of the hardest biomes for me to decorate. I've been really happy with my past glade builds, but every time I actually think about decorating the glade, it takes me a while to come up with something that I think is going to look good. Yeah, that's better. And it doesn't look that weird with the river kit kind of merging into the border there.
It's nice to see the sunshine.
Can I push this closer? Really? Well, okay. Now I know. Anyone remember in Cinderella Story, the movie, there's a song that's called Now You Know that plays when Sam, Hilary Duff, is in her sad montage, and she's like sad in her room, she's sad at the diner, she's scrubbing the floor, she tries to stand up and then falls and is sad. You know, the sad montage in Cinderella Story. There's a song called Now You Know, and I don't know who sings it, in the movie, but Hilary Duff definitely sings it on the soundtrack. It's not Hilary Duff in the movie. They do that a couple of times actually in the Cinderella Story movie. I had the Cinderella Story soundtrack when I was a child. It was very good. Like there was one song that I think was called Just Another Day. I don't know who's singing it in the movie, but it's not Jesse McCartney who sings it on the soundtrack.
I've never seen a kingdom like
All right, that'll work. I love Cinderella Story. Actually, a very sad moment for me was recently when I was recommended a YouTube short where Hilary Duff was doing promo for her new album, which I love, by the way. And they were like, okay, you have to like pick this or that kind of thing, right? And they were like, Lizzie McGuire movie or Cinderella Story. She said Cinderella Story. No. She said Lizzie McGuire movie. I said Cinderella Story because that's the obvious choice in my humble opinion. But she said Lizzie McGuire movie. Girl. There we go. Now, it would be nice if this, actually, this is probably gonna have to come out this way, like so. You feel like Lizzie McGuire is more iconic? Lizzie McGuire is a show, I think. Cinderella Story, I think, is a superior movie. More iconic? I'm not sure. Superior, certainly. I don't know if I want this all the way here. That might be a little too much. A little too much. I kind of want like a tree here. It has been a while since I watched the Lizzie McGuire movie, though. I should probably do that. I think the last time I watched it was when Disney Plus first came out. I watched a lot of stuff when Disney Plus first came out, which had to have been so many years ago now. So I think I remember where I lived when it happened. And that was a long time ago. Kind of want merch. I forgot we had these. Do something with these. I was actually thinking about using the wide one with the Mickey thing, this one. But actually, these ones make more sense, I think, even though the flowers are purple. Oh. Oh no! Oh no, oh no, I'm so sorry. I was told this was a thing. Let me turn this off. I am so sorry. It's gonna go to the stream starting screen because that's just the one that was queued before. Yeah, you mentioned this glitch before, Anthony. I'm so sorry to anybody who's sensitive to flashing lights. I had no idea that was gonna happen. I really apologize. It's still blinking repeatedly, so I'm gonna give it a minute and see if it... Oh, I guess I could find a different screen to go to now. That's bothering me, and I'm not even like... Now, Dreamlight Valley, do you mind? Anthony, was this one that would stop eventually? Or you have to force quit? No! Okay, I'll do that. Unfortunate. All right, time to boot her back up, I guess. That was horrible. It tends to actually save, though. That's good. Hopefully it did. Oh my, oh my. Oh my! Actually, a good thing that's happening. Tomorrow we're playing Cult of the Lamb. I think we have 2 eggs incubating, which means we're gonna have 2 cult babies. Can I turn on the game capture again? Yeah, all right. It's been having the glitch where it doesn't save when you exit furniture mode. Oh, yeah, I don't really think, I think maybe that's happened to me once in the past while, but luckily that one doesn't happen to me too much. I'm sorry, we're gonna have 2 club babies. I'm very excited about the club babies. We're actually gonna get it, not actually gonna listen. We're finally going to actually get into, no, this is where I need to be. I've just been going to an island so much recently, every time I open the game, that muscle memory was telling me to go. There was something I was saying. It did save.
A fella could get used to a place like this.
Club babies. Oh, we're finally going to actually get into Woolhaven. That's exciting. Here and here, maybe. We can have a little throughway to in there. Why? We'll have benches. Okay. A lot of actuallys, I know. I know. Okay. Oh, it's fine. We'll fix it. I also don't remember if I mentioned that I finally watched an episode of The Pit. The first episode was really good. I will probably continue it, but there's so much going on. The Pit is so good. I kind of thought I would like it, and I really did enjoy it. No, okay. Listen, we might not be able to do this, or I might have to... I'm so full of sadness right now. Get out of my face. And reload. The game is being very rude for no reason. I'm just trying to build in peace. And exit every now and then so that, you know, my progress saves and I can see what's going on. No, I understand, Kitty. I am going to, what I'm going to do is go into furniture mode, and if I have to go out of it, I'll turn off the game capture so that y'all don't have to see it if it happens again. I do apologize. One time was bad. I didn't expect it to happen a second time, but I should have. They do need to fix that. That's like really bad glitch to have. Oh, I need to pull up chat again. There you are. Dr. Mike on YouTube does a good review of the Pits episodes. Ooh, interesting. Yeah, I never worked in an ER, but I, as we talked about earlier, worked in healthcare for quite a while. So it was fun, question mark. It was interesting watching the episode and I don't know, playing doctor. That's not what it's called. Anyway, pretending that I was running my differential diagnoses and trying to figure out what was going on with the people. Ooh, we're getting a raid over on Twitch. Thank you so much. Part of Rachel's world. How are you? Thank you for bringing your community over. What were you up to today? I don't know if we have a mod over on Twitch. Would you mind doing a shout out for me, please? And thank you. Good. Oh, amazing. You did your dream snap. Oh, nice. I haven't done my dream snap yet. Ooh. Thank you for that shout out, Anthony. Go check out Part of Rachel's World, everybody. That's a problem that I will deal with at a later date. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. But welcome in. We are doing some decorating at the moment. Well, okay, here's the thing. We're planning out a new plaza. It's going okay, I would say. It looks a bit of a mess, but we're in a phase of trusting the process. I feel like it looks very empty, but we're gonna add some lights, we're gonna add some things, and it's gonna end up looking cute by the time we're done. I mean, not today. I don't want anyone to be confused. We're not gonna finish today. But by the time the plaza is eventually done, it's gonna look good. Those there. Looks so cute. Thank you. I bought the spooky palace, like dream castle skin, and I bought the winter one, and I never decorated my plaza to suit it. So I needed to finally embrace the castle skin. And so we are making a pink plaza. Well, mostly pink plaza. It's gonna be cute, I think. Thank you for the raid. I appreciate it. And no worries on the raid and run. I hope you have a fabulous rest of your day. Okay. Good. We're going to repeat this on the other side, I think. And then can start figuring out all the other things. Should probably also flip some of these around. There we go. I'm still waiting for more planter boxes. I feel like we need them desperately. Buff Hot Sauce, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate you. That's about where that is. Yes. Oh. Wonderful. Close enough. Hi, Marissa. How's it going? There. Maybe too many. Oh no, perfect amount. Look at me counting. There we go. Oh. Wonderful. And then these go there. Oh, that's too little. Too few. Well. Wonderful. First time catching the stream live? Welcome in. Happy to have you. Just came back from grocery shopping and now you're cleaning your house. Amazing. I've been really enjoying cleaning recently. Maybe, well, yeah, I've been really enjoying cleaning recently. Much more than I usually do. Okay. Push ya there. Yes. I think here I had one of these and one of the small ones. Yes. Wait, is that a big one? Yes. And then one of these. Beautiful. Actually, I need to go grocery shopping. I'm gonna do that. Who knows? Here we go, and there we go. Wonderful. Oh, okay. I'm going to quickly take this off of the screen just because I'm about to exit out. Oops, a furniture mode. Of course it works now. Okay. I didn't want y'all to have to deal with the flashing again. This kind of feels like this should be all the way over here to line up with that and be a wider path, but I don't know if I want that. We have so much more space here than we do there. But I think I like this. It's a line which I famously don't love really in designs, but we can try something new and have just a really long straight line. That's fine. Yeah. Okay. I would love a bench. Like this one, maybe? Probably that one. I do love these, but I don't know if I want the gray. I wish we had these in every color. I also have these, but I think I'm probably gonna go with this one. There and one there. And on this side. Am I going to be able to fit one of the giant Mythopia bushes back here? That's the question. Oh, I can! Okay, this is a miracle. I'll probably put these somewhere back here. Because they're so pretty. I know you won't be able to go through there, but that's kind of the point, I think. This almost feels like this needs to be cordoned off, but I don't really want to do that. This being uneven now is a bit bothersome to me, but I don't know if it's bothersome enough for me to want to bring that all the way back. Not certain. You like the setup, especially because villagers love to stand on the edge of the plaza, and it's so hard to get them when they're there. Yeah, I usually like having seating by the edge of the plaza, just because I feel like in real life that would be such a pretty place to look out over the meadow. So I pretty much put seating there in all of my versions. I don't actually remember, though, now that I'm thinking about it, if I had it here on my last plaza build. I'm also thinking of moving these in now. Like maybe up as far as I can. Oh no, that oregano. Okay. I gotta pull this there again. Just in case. Okay. When you decorate, you always imagine what it would be like to visit in real life. I don't know if I do all the time, but there are some things that feel very much like things. Wait, what? That was about to be a very weird sentence. There are some places or some builds that do make me think a lot about what it would be like in real life. And this ledge between the biomes is one of them that always makes me think about that. I think that's kind of in line with that. I almost want to section this off. I wish you could put that closer though, because that's not fun. Maybe then how would a tree maybe? How would I, in this case, of course, make the edge of this look good? The answer being a tree, perhaps. You always put lots of benches and the open book piles everywhere. The villagers like to sit and they like to read. I don't know why that just reminded me of this one spot in the bind where people always sit backwards. There's like a bench that's kind of in front of Scrooge's shop, and no matter what I do, they always sit facing the shop, which doesn't make any sense. Like, if you saw the way the bench was positioned, you would understand why that's frustrating to me. It makes no sense for people to sit there like that. Tiny fountains. They just want to look at a shop because it's so beautiful. I guess the thing is that their noses are right up against the shop when they sit there, so I don't even know that they could enjoy it from that vantage point. But maybe they can. What do I know? What do I know? You had a bench in the Sunlit Plateau where they always sat backwards and it made you crazy. You flipped it a million times. Yeah, at first I was like, I didn't realize the benches have a front and a back. They don't. For some reason, they just decided that that was like a spot for them where they were always going to face that way. It's not my job to fix them. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink, or whatever the saying is. I can place the bench in a way that makes sense, but I can't force them to sit on it that way. I need something around here. I'm a little tempted to try this fence. Wondering where the new items Scrooge is always talking about are. Well, Listen, you said it, not me. The issue with something like this is the tiling on the ground makes it weird sometimes when you try to do something that is not aligned with the tiling on the ground. I don't know if that made sense, but it makes sense to me. Okay. Sigh. I want to exit out, but I don't want to. Okay. Oh, we're good. Like, of course now it's behaving. I'm not mad that it's behaving. I'm just mad that it wasn't before. You know? Probably should have run around a little bit more. Also that it's raining, that's super rude. Wait a second. It's interesting that you can't put that on that rug. Because you can put wells on that rug. I could also use this giant bush. I hadn't thought about that. Yes. That does provide a little bit of height. The height that I was looking for. Look at my lighting. Okay. We could do Mickey lampposts, but do we want to is the question. It's not really the vibe. I don't know that we have lampposts that are the vibe, though. Wait a second. This isn't right. Oh, give me 1 second. My sister's calling. I need to make sure everything's okay. Sorry, she's okay. Just typically my family knows when I stream, so if they call, I just have to make sure there's not an emergency happening. But everything is fine. That is still, I think, not even. I think this no, maybe it is. Because that's the middle of that. No, it's good. That's the middle of that. Yes, 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 yes. We're fine. It's just not as wide as it is long, but that doesn't bother me. I was looking at lights, I think. The pink ones that I usually use are these. And they are a bit rustic for what we're building here, but I wonder if I can make them work anyway. Because the light on them is pretty. We'll see. Actually, while I'm thinking about those rugs, can they go under these buildings? No, of course not. How very sad. Can go under this one. Kind of cute. A little wraparound, but then it accentuates the fact that this is not actually lined up with this. And I don't think there's a way for me to do that. Actually, that is. I think. Wish Blossom Ranch lights with the pink flowers, maybe? Wait, which ones? Are they craftables? Because it's possible that I just didn't craft them yet. Because I feel like they would be up here and I don't see them. Crafting. Interesting. I'll have to check on that. Can I get to... No, I can't. I was going to see if I could get to the collections menu straight from this menu, but I can't. What if... I actually now want this to be furthered this way, but I don't think I can really do that unless I put it this way, which would throw off the symmetry there. But does that matter to me very much? I don't know. Fountains do we have? This one that I still haven't used, and it would be cute in a build like this, but I don't have the space for it. This one is my go-to fountain. So we did use, oh, these, I forgot. How many of these are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Interesting. So I could put these like here, I guess. Sure, possibly. Something like this. I like don't want to tempt fate, but I think it's gonna be fine. Okay. I guess I could also just take this off of studio mode and then I could just do that without the transition. Okay. Let me pop into a building and pop back out and see how those fountain tiles look. I do wish it would stop raining, but actually I'm gonna have to sign off in a minute, so guess it doesn't really matter. It's just annoying. Okay. I would have preferred 3 in each of these, but it would look odd because it wouldn't be able to be, like, there are 6. So if there were 3, 1 would be on the end and 1 would not be on the end, or 2 would be on the ends and 1 would be not in the middle. And that would just look strange. So I think this is our start. And I don't hate it. It certainly is going to need a lot, but I feel like we're starting to build out some dimension in this center area. I still need some taller things, but that will come with time. It looks good already. It's a start. It's gonna be cute when it's done. It's gonna be real cute when it's done and it's not raining, but we're gonna go ahead and wrap up for today. Got to keep it a tight 2 hours. But I'm gonna see if anybody else is streaming over on YouTube, and we can go and hang out. I'll be back tomorrow with a Cult of the Lamb. It's gonna be very exciting. I'm looking forward to it. And let's go see. Oh, sometimes I see somebody that I'm subscribed to, and I'm like, you must have changed your name. I don't know what your name was before because I don't recognize this one. We're gonna go see Hot Cocoa Collective, who's doing a 1-hour Dream Snap challenge. So please stop by, hang out, say hey. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day or night. Thank you for being here, and I'll see y'all soon. Goodbye, everybody.